Good afternoon, everyone. I am Maria May M. Garcia, one of the reporter of Chapter 9, which entitled The Cross-Linguistic Influence and Learner Language. Before we are going to proceed to our topic, this chapter focuses on psychological and social principles of second language acquisition. In addition, in this chapter, we will take a different direction as we begin to examine the most salient component of second language acquisition and the language itself. So, the topics that I will be going to discuss are the contrastive analysis hypothesis and the markedness and universal grammar. So first, let me discuss the contrastive analysis hypothesis. So what does it mean? Since this chapter focuses on the second language acquisition and the language itself, the contrastive analysis hypothesis, or the CEH, is known to be the stockpile of comparative and contrastive data on a multitude of pairs of languages. In addition, the contrastive analysis hypothesis claims that the principal barrier of second language acquisition is the interference of the first language system with the second language system. So by that, it is a scientific structural analysis of the two languages. And connected to this topic, the behaviorism contributed to the notion that human behavior is the sum of its smallest parts and components. And therefore, that language learning could be described as the acquisition of all of those discrete units. In 1957, the linguistics across cultures was one of the strongest preface made by Robert Lado. The plan of the book rests on the assumption that we can predict and describe the patterns that will cause difficulty in learning and those that will not cause difficulty by comparing systematically the language and the culture to be learned with the native language and culture of the student. In 1965, the hierarchy of difficulty was offered. According to Stockwell, Bowen, and Martin, the hierarchy of difficulty can be predicted by the teacher or linguist in terms of relative difficulty of a given aspect of the target language. On the other hand, in 1967, Clifford Praetor captured the essence of this grammatical hierarchy in 6 categories of difficulty. His hierarchy was applicable to both grammatical and phonological features of language. The 6 categories in ascending order of difficulty are listed below. So let's start with level 0, transfer. No difference or contrast is present between the two languages. The learner can simply transfer sound, structure, or lexical item from the native language to the target language. Examples: English and Spanish cardinal vowels, word order, and certain words, such as the mortal, intelligente, arte, and americanos. Level 1, coalescence. Two items in the native language become coalesced into essentially one item in the target language. This refers that learners overlook a distinction they have grown accustomed to. For example, the distinction of gender in the third language person, the his or her. And in an English speaker learning French, must overlook the distinction between teach and learn. Level 2, under differentiation. An item in the native language is absent in the target language. So, the learner must avoid that item. So, like for example, English learners of Spanish must forget such item as English do as a tense carrier, possessive forms of WH words, whose, or the use of some with mass nouns. Level 3, reinterpretation. An item that exists in the native language is given to a new shape or distribution. Like for example, an English speaker learning French must learn a new distribution for nasalized vowels. Level 4, over-differentiation. A new item entirely bearing little if any similarity to the native language item